Dear friends, it's a pleasure to greet you and to say a few words on combating homophobia and transphobia. Let me start on a positive note. In the last decade, we've witnessed significant progress in the recognition and realization of equal rights for LGBTI persons. We've witnessed new laws at the national level on family rights and legal gender recognition, and there's been a sea change in public attitudes towards LGBTI persons in many member states. The jurisprudence of the European Court of Human Rights has also continued to evolve. In June 2017, the court found that the Russian law prohibiting so-called propaganda of homosexuality reinforces stigma and prejudice and encourages homophobia. In an earlier judgment against Georgia, the court reiterated that states have the obligation to protect LGBTI persons and to effectively investigate acts of violence against them. In Vadeland and others against Sweden, the court made clear that homophobic speech is not protected speech. Yet in 2017, we were shocked by the news from the Chechen Republic in the Russian Federation, where a number of gay men were arrested or abducted between February and April of 2017 and subjected to severe ill treatment. We were appalled by developments in Azerbaijan, where in September, law enforcement apprehended and detained 83 persons identified on the basis of their actual or perceived sexual orientation and gender identity. Even where we've seen progress, we still see manifestations of homophobia and transphobia. In the UK, for example, reports show a dramatic rise in homophobic and transphobic hate crimes in the wake of the Brexit referendum. In a recent report in France, the NGO SOS Homophobie observed a correlation between advances in the recognition of LGBTI rights and increases in hate crimes and hate speech. The 2016 murder of 23-year-old trans activist Hande Kader in Turkey, whose body was found mutilated and burned, was a sad reminder that violence motivated by homophobia and transphobia is often particularly brutal and cruel. In Ukraine, 2017 saw improved cooperation between the police and LGBTI organizations and improved protection against homophobic and transphobic acts of aggression. However, the key challenge remains: investigating hate crimes and punishing perpetrators. Many promising ideas in the National Human Rights Strategy and Action Plan remain on paper. While Ukrainian society becomes more and more tolerant towards diversity, right-wing and traditionalist groups display more and more aggressive behavior. What can be done to counter this trend and to overcome hatred against LGBTI persons? Throughout my mandate, I've encouraged governments to adopt a comprehensive approach to tackling homophobia and transphobia, including explicit prohibitions against discrimination on grounds of sexual orientation and gender identity, and taking effective action to identify, investigate, and punish hate crimes and hate speech. But we also need outreach campaigns and education in schools, as well as political leadership on this issue. We still have a lot of work to do, but changes in the last decade towards a more accepting approach makes me cautiously optimistic that there is light at the end of the tunnel. I wish you very fruitful discussions during the conference.